too.
The number of elderly heads of households who continue to work and support their families well into their 60s has exceeded 1 million, according to a new report, marking a twofold increase since 2013.
60대가 넘어서도 가족을 부양하는 노인 가장의 수가 100만 명을 넘어섰으며 이는 10년 전보다 약 2배 증가한 수치라는 최근 집계 결과가 나왔습니다. 자, 노인 가장이 늘었군요. And this is in line with the aging population, right?
Right. So it's a bit concerning because on the flip side, it also means that there are less people, less youth that are working as well. So there are more older people who are not able to retire and less younger people who are able to get jobs.
It's not necessarily because they want to.
Yes.
It's because they can't.
They can't afford to,
They
basically.
can't afford to.
Yeah.
그러니까 젊은 그 workforce 일하고 있는 청년들이 그만큼 줄고 있기 때문에 노인 가장의 숫자가 늘고 있는 그런 양상이라고 볼 수도 있겠고요.
Yeah.
The demographics also show that there's a rising population in the elderly as well.
Right. So just looking at some figures, they say that there are less youth heads of households. They call this HOH. I was looking this up.
HOH.
And there's been a decrease in the number of dependents. Dependents are people who depend on this head of household for financial reasons. Dependents relying on heads of households in their 20s and 30s by 52%, and an increase of what we call these people, 캥거루죠. People who still stay at home even though they've reached a certain age. So dependents are relying on these 60 plus heads of households. They've increased 86.9%.
이 dependent는 부양인이라는 뜻이 있는데 그렇게 부양을 받아야 하는 사람들이 여전히 많고 그럼 부양을 하는 분들 중에는 이제 연령대가 있으신 분들이 여전히 좀 있습니다. 캥거루 역할을 좀 계속 하고 있는 거죠.
Yeah.
And then the younger people are still in their mother's pouches, so to speak.
And, it's not just for financial reasons as well, I think. I mean, this is apart from the news. But, after you get married and after you have kids, a lot of people tend to stay with their parents because they have to rely on them for, people who take care of their children while they work as well. So, I mean, in that case, they're not really dependents, but they're choosing to stay with their parents because they rely on them for other reasons.
Well, let's have a look at some expressions. The first one is HOH,
Yes.
head of household.
Right. So here, the head means it's not just your head. I remember that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember that movie where there's a very famous line. They say the head of the household. I forget the exact line.
I haven't
but,
seen the movie.
Oh, you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah.
So they're saying that usually when we think of the head of the household, it's the man, but they're saying the woman is the one that controls the neck.
Oh.
I forget the exact line, but that was how it went. But anyway, so the head of the household is what we call a breadwinner. It's the person who's supporting the family financially. And the other term that we learned about was the dependent. So the person that would depend on the head of household.
요거 가사란다. 대사 재밌네요. 그 영화를 좀 봐야 되겠는데.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding에서 그런 얘기를 한대요. 가장은 이제 그 집의 아버지, 남편이 가장일지 모르겠지만 그 아내, 애들의 어머니는 그 바로 밑에 있는 목 역할을 하고 있다.
Because it controls
the direction that the head turns. 목이 어느 방향으로 이렇게 트느냐에 따라서 머리도 자동으로 움직이게 돼 있는 거잖아라고 하는 좀 재밌는.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, the Greeks have a very similar culture with that.
네, 그렇군요. 뭐 좀 생각하게 하는 대사인데요.
Right. So, we say head of households, but you can also use this because the head is, you would say the person who is in charge of the household. So you can also use this for the head of state,
Yes.
which would be the person that is, ruling over a country, basically. So you can use this word for a president or a king or a premier or whoever is in charge of that country.
네, 우리가 국가 원수 얘기할 때 정상들을 이제 head of state라고 말하는 것처럼 head 그런 우두머리 역할을 한다라고 볼 수 있겠고요. 영국에선 교장 선생님을 headmaster,
Oh, yeah.
head teacher
Yeah.
이렇게 부르기도 합니다. 자, 그래서 여기선 가장이 되겠어요. Now, well into something은
Yes, well into means that you are far along a process. So, for example, we are already well into 2023.
Yeah.
It's already October.
It is. I can't believe
Or
it.
it's nearly October.
That's true.
It's not October yet.
그렇죠. 지금 2023년을 우리가 그냥 조금 접어든 정도가 아니고요. 뭐 반 이상도 훌쩍 넘어섰습니다. Well into something이라는 것은 어떤 기준점보다 훨씬 넘어서서 그 안에 들어가 있다라는 의미가 될 수도 있고 여기서 2023년 좀 거의 10월이니까
Yes.
We are well into 2023. 자, 다시 읽어보겠습니다. The number of elderly heads of households who continue to work and support their families well into their 60s has exceeded 1 million, according to a new report, marking a twofold increase since 2013.